Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Today we're gonna talk about challenges has bank sector faced in post-COVID-19. As you know, COVID-19 pandemic has spread all across the world, not only affected on financial markets and institutions, but also many more affected. Bank sector is generate multi-phase crisis. Also, banking sector has played an essential role in supply needed for the economy. However, the bank performance has been dropped due to negative impact on the credit efficiency and lower coefficient than average. It increases the unemployment, slow the aggregate demand, production and economic activities. There are 4 basic essential managerial tasks. First is planning, organizing, leading, and also controlling. As you know, planning, managers perform strategies to achieve high performance and goals. And on planning tasks, it has tactical skills, operational skills, and strategy skills. Next is organizing. Organizing consists of taking previously created plan and putting it into actions. It is also structuring relationship that can interact and cooperate to achieve its goals. The outcome is to motivate the member so the member can work or cooperate together to meet organizational goals. In leading stage, it consists of motivating employees and influencing their behavior to achieve organizational objectives. Next, managers who are connect with the employee may encourage or inspire and motivating the team member to perform their best. Controlling is the task of manager to evaluate on how organization achieve its goal and make any adjustment action to maintain its performance. So they can conduct performance appraisal and give any feedback such as suggestions for improvement or may offer a pay high incentive in performing employees.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Fitri. I will start with build competitive advance. When COVID-19 hits in early 2020, the Malaysian government made the decision to close the country border and implement movement control order to control spread of the virus. This caused the country economic collapse and most of the people lost their job and source of income as a result of the close of several job sector. As the leader of bank in Malaysia, the Bank Negara Malaysia need to take preventive measure to ensure the banking sector is not future affected like other sector. To build competitive advantage during the COVID-19 movement control order, Bank Negara Malaysia has issued instructions that must be followed by banking institutions to ensure they remain competitive in uncertain economy. First point is reschedule and restructure financial or loan facilities with banking and financial institutions. This can help borrowers who are faced financial problem when implement of movement control order, which result of lose their job when lot of business had to close. Through this scheduling and restructuring, the banking industry can help affected borrower and continue to earn profit and avoid great loss if borrowers are unable to make repayment. The second point is digital transformation in banking service. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed the behavior of consumer and business. Consumer and business sector are more focused in online business because it can save more time and cost. These add-ons change the business landscape in Malaysia. The banking industry need to change to a digital business landscape by implementing digital banking. This can be seen with the collaboration of banking industry with the online business medium such as Shopee, Lazada, and so on. Through this collaboration, consumer can make payment at any time and thus help online merchants to make sale more efficiently. Through digital banking, the bank can also see the behavior of the consumer and create a credit score through the storage data and help the bank to make decision to offer a right service according to the need of the customer and improving the quality of banking service.
Hello everyone, my name is Nurul Ainashikin and I am going to present to you guys about how to maintain a ethical and socially responsible standard in the banking sector during the global pandemic. So please hang on with me. Thank you. During the COVID-19 crisis, every level of society has sacrificed a great amount of money and time. The pandemic has presented an unprecedented challenge to the working industry. uh, it doesn't only affectioning the health industry, but also every aspect in life, be it in the tourism sector, airline sector, or banking sector. When the economic growth has drastically collapsed, banking industry is one of the industry that is overburdened to raise the company service and performance, also profit, but at the same time, they have to keep contributing for the society. Bank can also use their advantages to lead, impact, and change in society. They to capitalize on this opportunity during the pandemic and function effectively by giving back to the society who has suffered with limitless sources of income. And the responsibility of the bank lies within the managers to accomplish sustainable development by giving their positions and role in society. The financial institutions, specifically banking industry in Malaysia, have provided the necessary assistance by contributing helps as much as they could toward the society. And the banking sector has introduced comprehensive measures that were regulated and taken by Bank Negara Malaysia to help the business and individuals that are affected during the pandemic. The measures that were introduced in the banking sector are more focused on extending immediate cash flow as a relief to individuals and business so they can preserve their job and also their livelihoods. The banking industry also provide an appropriate regulatory and operational flexibilities for banking institutions where they open more services in online so the customer can do their financial transactions easily. And last but not least, preserving a smooth functioning of financial intermediation process in support to economic recovery, which happened for the post-COVID-19, where the economic is reform and restructuring. A few days after Malaysia government has announced a movement control order, or known as PKP, Maybank immediately took action and contributed an immediate cash amounting 4 million ringgit Malaysia into a fund that is called Mercy Malaysia COVID-19 Pandemic Fund. And Maybank was not the only bank that helped diminish the negative economic impact. BNM has reached an agreement with all of the banks to grant an automatic 6 months moratorium to all of the individuals and small and medium enterprises (SMEs). And along with the moratorium, bank also offer a reduction in installments, reschedule and restructure a specific financial circumstances to fit their clients' conditions. Since everyone movement is limited during the lockdown, um, the banking institution also provide an online facilities for them to obtain their personal and financing details. Oh, and not just that, for anyone who struggles with a credit card outstanding debts, they can convert the debts into a 3-year term loan, and the interest is also reduced. This action was taken, this action was taken to help those in need in managing their debt. Maintaining the ethical and social responsibility standard is not an easy job. Every bank in Malaysia during the lockdown has to follow and obey the rules that has been instructed by the government. By following the SOP, the organization's goals can be at stake. The procedures and also policy has changed. They are advised to follow all of the SOP while giving services in order to avoid the unethical moral actions or worsen the rise of COVID-19 cases. Managers and also top managers during that time must have faced the great deal of pressure in order to fight the moral stances and individual ethics. So, and individual ethics is the quality that will influence their decisions to carry the responsibility and give benefits to the company. So while they need to take care of the workers to achieve the goals and targets, they also need to follow the policies and procedures that has been made by the organizations. At the same time, they also need to restructure um, their policies in order to follow the government guideline. So therefore, the company that they serve for can operate smoothly and give benefit to the company, society, and also government.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Sedatu Surina. Will continue this presentation for next challenges, which is the managing a diverse workforce. As we know, in COVID pandemic has made hard for bankers to do their job. It is because they have to adjust with the new things. It is also have to change needs to do their work without any physical meeting. They have to adapt with the new normal. They also have to keep a lot of effort to keep their employees healthy. The employee also having a challenge, not only their employees healthy but also society healthy. They have to communicate about anything about work or their health. HR should help the manager to figure out about this pandemic, such as alternative banking and safety. The manager has made it easy for their staff to work from home, and only 20% of them to do in physical. Work from home can be one of the way to create a new environment where the staff can talk each other, and the manager have to consistent to check their staff whether they are having any issues for their work, and the manager have to monitor the staff to arrangement their work. Other than that, the bank also need to use a virtual learning platform to make sure the staff stay in touch and understand the bank priorities in dealing with the crisis pandemic COVID-19 right now. They also gain a new knowledge from this monitoring by the manager to support the staff well as make the best technology to improve their new way of working in a long run. In addition, manager have two-way conversation with the staff to make sure that them in touch. Leader of human of resource should work together with the manager to create opportunities based on the positive and negative effect on the current COVID-19 outbreak response plan. For the example, the staff can use the platform website to find whatever about the workplace update. Last, the nature of the staff position in an unsecure location may be too sensitive to manage from home, whether they need to access to remotely accessibility equipment or programmers, or because their home environment is unworkable. Even though the staff may be unable to attend the business office like usual, working from home may not always be an option. For the reason, manager within an organization consider the alternative for workplace like stereo work center. Managers should think about their option to be clear about their hygiene preparation and process.
The first challenges in banking sector post-COVID-19 are to utilize new technologies. Leaders in banking industry facing challenges to upgrade existing technology to protect from cyber attacks and credit problems. As the digital world transformed, it became harder to enhance banking efficiency. Financial institutions must invest in cutting-edge technologies to meet client demand and stop virus spread among employees and globally. For happy customers and employees, the service has to be faster and cheaper. Face recognition, automation, and digital checks make information sharing easier. Digital solutions are growing popular, thus oversight and the legal framework need to be improved to keep up with the evolving financial sector. In addition, they must invest in advanced technologies. Either leaders choose to respond to the pandemic and invest in technology, or they go out of business. Leaders in the banking industry have realized they can better serve their clients by engaging with fintech and other suppliers to build innovative digital solutions. Now that the banking industry has recovered from the epidemic and embraced some of its enduring changes, it must continue to help corporate customers and employees by giving digital benefits. So they must build innovative digital solutions to take financial operations digitally. Thanks to online banking, we no longer need to visit banking facilities and employees can work remotely, thus minimizing the chance of COVID-19 virus spread and have access to financial services 24/7 anywhere. Thus, banking leaders may face challenge in deciding to close their physical branches to cut costs. To ensure success of their operations, they need to provide training and tools for employees to serve clients online. Application Programming Interface (APIs) have aided the banking and financial industries since their debut. Cloud computing scalability, adaptability, operational benefits, and low costs are attracting more financial organizations. Instead of replacing employees with AI, managers need to provide literacy training to employees to fix biometrics mismatches, incorrect information, insufficient finances and infrastructures, and many more. In order to balance reliable digitalization methods and fight cybercrimes, managers need to examine new and developing risks such as ICT and strategic risks and give them more weight in standard assessment. Last but not least, as the organization depends on the Internet of Things, it brings a lot of risk in threatening bank safety and clients' deposit. Digitalization is a key challenge for regulators as going the digitalization route, but it obviously necessitates large upfront investments, which leads to global financial crisis. However, it expedites the ongoing digital transformations of bank.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Sarah Aisyah binti Muhammad Afrizal. So today I will be explaining about a principal challenges, one of the principal challenges for management, which is practicing a global crisis management. So the pre-crisis challenges of the traditional banking business model will be exacerbated by the COVID-19 crisis. So these challenges include a revenue pressure, low profitability which is due to the low interest rates and also a high capital requirements, tighter regulation which is following by the previous financial crisis, and a growing competition from the shadows bank and a new digital entrance because of the severe credit losses and which is result from the worldwide economic downturn brought on by the COVID-19 crisis. So the banking sector was burdened by a confluence of adverse market pressures brought on by the COVID-19 outbreak. And in addition to economic concerns, banks had to concentrate on a social and also environmental ones to lessen the negative effects. As a result, there is now more a market for banking customers, necessitating efforts to acquire their happiness and also a loyalty. During the crisis, banks were under pressure to meet the compassionate needs of society. For instance, it may be anticipated that the banks will expand their microfinance initiative while cutting back on interest collection. So, one of the ways is investigating how bank factors influence their COVID-19 strategy is also important, where the banking business is hardly a newcomer to a stakeholder management. So the corporate social responsibility, CSR, and also a corporate social sustainability are the terms that used to be described this management strand, CS. If the disclosure of managing COVID-19 are comparable to these stakeholder management domains, then their determinants may be comparable and an excess of correlations between a COVID-19 disclosure. So the well-being of the workplace was a crucial issue to consider, especially when the bank personnel were among the first to contract the COVID-19. So while most banks had to spend their money on the technology-based infrastructures to allow their staff to work from home, so the larger banks such as like a HSBS were at ease using their office space liberally to maintain the social distance. Additionally, an effort to protect their staff, some banks from Korea, China, and also US have created a screening and also a quarantine strategy for currency notes and banking papers. So many central banks across the world have modified their operating hours to accommodate both personnel and also a consumer. So the lockdown and halting of economic activity have a significant impact on the workers. The right pace CSR approach that can win employees' loyalty and build a positive reputation for businesses and banks may be seen as the empathic behavior, which is toward the employees in terms of the stabilizing their economic lives. HSBC Bank originally intended to eliminate 35,000 of position, but postponed the workforce layoff plan until the impacted employees could find a replacement. If not paying the entire compensation, employers can also think about paying a portion of it. So it is believed that this action would result in a win-win situation for both companies and also employees, since the cost of rehiring and also training new staff can be avoided by the employers once the crisis has ended and economic activity has resumed. So in the early stages of the lockdown period, certain companies including Walmart, Apple and Microsoft have indicated that they will continue paying their employees for work done from home. So it is acceptable to assume that banks also will be provide borrowing options to their workers. So the workers would have to pay substantially higher interest rate according to the Kramer 2020 if they were left to look out life support consumption loans on their own. So corporate borrowings in the US are typically subject to interest rate of 2% to 3%, whereas the consumer credit, cards and personal loans typically have rates of over 20% by setting up a corporate agreements to make it easier for the employees to get loans. So the banks in particular and other businesses in general can take action to address this issue.
Next, conclusion. In summation, managers at each level have different but related responsibility for using organizational resources to increase efficiency and effectiveness. However, to be an effective manager, they have to gain the trust of their employee and build a management system structure to develop an organization. It's very important to understand what kind of leadership or management style get chosen. Well, there are three types of skills: conceptual skills, human skills, and technical skills. Basically, managers use conceptual skills to demonstrate ability to analyzing a situation, distinguish between causes and effect. Other than that, managers usually have the ability to understand, communicate, motivate, also lead the control team's behavior throughout the direct feedback, allow them to develop their human skills. Next, the technical skills are the job specific that require to perform range type of work to be effective. A range of technical skills depends on their positions in organizations, so that their job specific skills and expertise will increase. Thank you.